We'll have a coherent session in today's Oyster, which I shall be leading after a long time. So let me remind you, before we enter into the coherence process, the only awareness which you need to have is to ignore your thoughts and to ignore your mind as far as possible. Here, we shall operate in the realm of awareness. In Hindi, we call it Jagriti. So we will operate at the mezzanine floor between the ground floor and the second floor. First floor, I'm sorry. The first floor is consciousness. When we ascend to the first floor, we are at the realm of constant consciousness, which is our goal in Oyster. When we achieve that, we have achieved the ultimate 21st century spirituality, according to me. So our task in Oyster is now to ascend and settle down in the mezzanine floor, which I define as the floor of Jagriti, the floor of awareness. A very beautiful realm from where we can see the ground floor as well as the first floor. It's in the mezzanine floor. From that floor of awareness, we know the game of our mind, what mind is doing, what ego is doing with us, how many times it is seeping into our consciousness and occupying the space. कितने बार हमारी ईगो घुस जाता है बीच में और हमारे चेतना को, हमारा चैतन्य को प्रदूषित कर देता है, हटा देता है और पूरा दखलदारी ले लेता है अपने जीवन का। ये चीज हम देख पाएंगे मेज़ानिन फ्लोर से, और साथ साथ ये भी एहसास होगा कि हमें कहाँ जाना है, हमारा लक्ष्य क्या है। वो जो फर्स्ट फ्लोर है वही है हु एम आई, जो हमारा अंतिम लक्ष्य है। With this backdrop, let us enter into our conscious breathing space, very soft, very slow and natural. We will go through a couple of phases in breathing. So first, we shall breathe from the tip of our nostril up to our diaphragm, which is the separator between our upper respiratory tract and the stomach. We will only breathe up to the diaphragm, not below, very soft. And should you love to imagine, you can imagine a light blue colored balloon expanding as you breathe in with your full lungs. And when you breathe out, slowly squeezing it to mingle with the diaphragm. It is ascending up the diaphragm, up to the head as you breathe in, and breathe out, slowly coming to the diaphragm. That is the first phase. And then we will get into little deeper in breathing, at that point, your mind will be used because you are shifting. And when you're getting into deeper breathing, you will breathe into the belly, not the lower abdomen, up to the stomach. So your belly may expand, and the Japanese call it activating the hara. In Japan, they don't work on the brain or the heart. They work on the hara. Hara, which is just about 2 inches below the navel point. That's why they call it haraki, committing suicide, killing yourself. Hara is everything of their life. So all their breathing are focused in the hara. So this will be also a hara breathing, because what happens when you expand your belly, your hara is activated, which is just below the navel point. And the whole energy, supreme energy, including cosmic entry, is held in the hara in the Japanese philosophy, in the Tai Chi philosophy. So when we breathe into the belly, we will push the hara down and feel the activation of the energy all over your body. And then we will go to the deeper phase, and we'll pull our breathing below. And there is no limit. You can do it up to the hip joints. You can do up to the knee joints. You can do up to the end of the feet, as long as you breathe. That is the third phase we will go. I'm describing the process so that you don't have to use your mind too much. You will only use your mind fractionally when you are shifting from one phase to another. And at the third level, when we do abdominal breathing and the complete breathing of the body, then from nostril up to the level that you go, you will breathe deeply and peacefully. Now, in the three levels, there are three philosophical levels also. So when we do our lung breathing or upper respiratory breathing or diaphragm breathing, that level is called the level of darkness. So as you breathe, you feel that you are entering into darkness. Darkness is beautiful. Don't look at it negatively. That is the first phase, darkness, where you can use the imagination of a balloon, which is not compulsory, but if you want to do, you can do. And below the diaphragm, when you go up to the navel point, you can use an imagination called an eyedropper. It's a Japanese breathing system, eyedropper breathing, they say. And what happens in the eyedropper? You know, when you fill the eyedropper with the water, inverted, it expands just like the belly. So when you breathe in, your eyedropper is expanding like a stomach, creating pressure on the hara. And when you breathe out, once again, the eyedropper is squeezing. First, the balloon was squeezing. Second is eyedropper is squeezing. And the third is a simple flow of a river. Or according to Surdas, तन के तंबूरे में दो सांसों की तार बोले जय सिया राम. What a beautiful concept. दो सांसों के तार, एक नाक से दूसरी नाक से. तन के तंबूरे में दो सांसों की तार बोले जय सिया राम. जाने के टाइम सिया, वापस आने की टाइम राम. So feel the breathing flowing all over your body and coming down. Okay? So third level, second level is called void. First level is called darkness philosophically. When you get into the second level, you go deeper into darkness and you go at the level of complete noiselessness, void, absolute void. And when you go at the third level, then it is peace or stillness. There is a phase of stillness. Very seldom we realize that. We often mistake silence as stillness. It is deeper than silence. Void is silence. First is darkness, which is blank. At the darkness level, you hear the sound outside. At the void level, you start hearing the sound inside. So there is no silence. And then when you get to the third level, outside sound, inside sound both gets transcended and we are in stillness. So remember the technical aspect, metaphorical aspect, and philosophical aspect of the three level of reading. So let's start.